Hello everybody, it's been a while since I've done a review on a VR headset or like this DOF Reality H6 or anything flight sim related, but I've had this Pimax Crystal Super for a little while and thought I would make a review. Haven't done many DCS videos lately or flight sim, but the ones I have done, I've been using this headset. You may have already seen it in other videos, and I thought, well, I've had it long enough now, it's time to do a review. Full disclosure, Pimax sent me this in exchange for an honest review. They said, hey, it's a demo version, so this is not what you would get if you bought it. This is an older version that they were using for testing, so not full up, which I'll talk about here in a minute. There's a couple things that actually don't work on it that they sent. So right off the bat, this is the Pimax Crystal Super. It's outstanding visuals. It's higher fidelity. Remember, I had the Pimax Crystal and then the Crystal Light. So higher resolution, 3840 by 3840 with enhanced field of view. I mean, you can see that just looking at it. Dynamic foveated rendering, eye tracking, auto IPD, all that stuff exists that when you compare it to the Crystal Light, I mean, there's no comparison. The Crystal Light is entry level. This is not. This is more like the original Crystal. It's just the original Crystal with a lot of things fixed. So I'm going to talk about the pros and some of the things I don't like and kind of the bottom line. Short review, but I thought we could talk about it because it's been a while since we've done any flight sim or whatever. But like I said, I'm in the DOF Reality H6. This is what I use for flight simming now. Link will be in the description. This will also link to get this in the description. Full disclosure for both. If you do buy, if you use the promo code, I do get a commission, but this is an honest review. No one's sponsored anything or told me to do anything, so it's up to you whether you actually purchase or not. All right, so what did they fix? Well, you know, from the Pimax Crystal, I had some complaints. One, it seemed like the thing disconnected all the time from the computer. It's PCVR, and it would always just kind of disconnect. You'd go to play, and you'd be like, oh, I've got to unplug it, plug it back in. It never seemed to just work. This one, they fixed that. I don't know what they did, but it's much better. It could be a Pimax update or driver update. I don't know how they fixed it, but they seem to have fixed it. It always seems to be ready to go, which I really enjoy and like. Updated from the Crystal, so no battery pack back here. Crystal Light did not have this, but I still had a comfort strap because even the Crystal Light felt pretty heavy. The way this is set up with the adjustment back here, it's a comfortable headset. You barely know it's there. It's not as light as the Quest 3 or the Meta Quest 3, but it's still, you don't notice it using it for a real long time. I found it pretty comfortable, and me being, you know, having neck problems from flying fighters in real life, I'm very sensitive to the neck issues, and I didn't have any issues with it. So I think it was pretty good. Other pros, right out of the box, it works well with DCS. I think DCS is probably optimized for it better than anything, and I had good success with getting good frame rates, and I have a pretty hefty machine. I've got a 4090 with a 9950 X3D processor, 64 gigs of RAM, so it's, I mean, I don't have a mid-tier system. It's pretty high-end, and DCS, no problems. Microsoft Flight Sim, that's going to be the con, but when it works, it's great. Thanks to Tally Mouse, Pimax put me in touch directly with him to get it working, and once I finally got it working, pretty stable frame rates, not near what DCS can do, but when it works, it looks amazing. It's beautiful. It just works. Visuals are amazing. No screen door, no artifacts that I could tell. You didn't get the fatigue after wearing it a long time. The microphone, something as a streamer, microphone is much improved. I didn't need a secondary mic to make it work. It just seemed to work, and that was appreciated. Now, these headphones, right out of the gate, I've never gotten this one, maybe one time, the right one to, or the left one to work. I think that's just because they sent me a test version, so I wouldn't look into that too much. I did try to troubleshoot it. We couldn't figure it out, so it is what it is. But so I can't tell you how the audio is in comparison, but I know the mic is much better. Okay, cons. The software is cumbersome. If you are a beginner or somebody who's not quite tech savvy, or somebody who doesn't like getting into like INI files and config files and all that stuff that I really don't understand, it's a challenge. I mean, there's a lot of tweaking and customization. When TallyMouse got with me, there's a lot of stuff you have to go do. Even if you go to Pimax's website, the customization and the level of settings and stuff, it takes more of an advanced user. It is not easy. It's not something that right out of the box it's going to work, and it's going to work well, which is what I appreciate. It does take some work and some tweaking to get it there. But once you get it there, it looks great. The other part to the optimizations is that updates seem to nuke the optimization. So whether it's Microsoft Flight Sim doesn't update or Pimax doesn't update on their Pimax Play, you know, things cross talk and don't work, and it becomes a big mess. And you get into like the loop of you fix something, something else breaks, you fix something, something else breaks, and you're like, man, I thought I had this working. Wow. So that was frustrating to me, is just how much effort it takes to make it look good. Now, when it looks good, it's great, but it's not easy. And I think that, you know, for a consumer level headset, it should be pretty easy. Microsoft Flight Sim's always had troubles with virtual reality, but this is an absolute train wreck. I mean, DCS was so much easier. I did not try iRacing yet, but iRacing historically has been pretty easy to get right. But Microsoft Flight Sim, I'm talking 2024, just, I mean, looks amazing when it works, but I was getting like 15 frames per second, 27 frames per second, and that's changing settings, moving stuff around. I finally got it, but it wasn't using Pimax or TallyMouse's settings. It was using default settings and then backing it off a little bit. And to me, I mean, it just took a lot of work and a lot of effort. But like I said, when it works, it's great. So bottom line, should you buy it? It's a high-end headset. It's pretty costly compared to some other options. If you have a high-end system, I think once you get it working, it's going to make it better. If you have a high-end system or a mid-tier system, I think you're not going to get any better visuals than this. If you want something that works out of the box and doesn't take a lot of effort, I did a review on the Quest 3. I had some trouble with the cable. As soon as I got VR desktop, it fixed everything. It was just amazing. So if I am on a budget and I want something that just works, that is probably what I'm going to recommend, is get the Quest 3. You know, I've got old eyes, so I mean, maybe I don't know, but I can't tell enough of a difference where it matters. But if you want the absolute best, obviously this is going to be your choice. So I think entry level, and I'm just looking for what's good enough that works every time, I would go with a Quest 3 or something similar. But if I want the absolute best visuals and can put up with all the customization and messing around with stuff and tweaking and all that stuff, then this is going to be your answer. I mean, it's absolutely the highest quality. Step down from that is going to be the Pimax Crystal, which is almost as good, lower end, but you're still going to get a better quality than the Quest 3. I just think as far as plug and play, go have fun, the Quest 3 is a pretty good answer, especially when you add the extra battery and VR desktop using the Wi-Fi. So overall, though, I think this is a good headset. It is a step in the right direction. I'm excited to see what they're going to do next with, even higher resolution stuff. I wish that it were easier and not such a pain, and having so many issues with just setting it up and stuff like that. But overall, I think it's still a decent headset. But let me know in the comments what you think, if you have it or if you've used it, and what you think of experiences with DCS or Microsoft Flight Sim or iRacing or whatever. But like I said, if you do decide to buy it, the link's in the description. Quest 3, I think there's a button you can use to do that as well. But no matter what, for me, if I'm doing Flight Sim or if I'm doing racing or something like that, it's got to have VR. I mean, I don't like the head tracking stuff, because where I look is where I feel like the jet is. I need that spatial awareness, which I don't think head tracking gives you. I've never thought that. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.